We wanted to get out of, when we put this on the schedule, just the atmosphere was awesome. The opponent was, is probably, is one of the best teams in the country. And it was just such a great test coming off the disappointment of the Kansas loss on the road, and then playing an opponent like this, coming out with a couple guys banged up, and just to put that type of impressive performance, just speaks to these two guys, and speaks to obviously the group that we have this year.
Go ahead.
Cam, how much work did you get in the past few days of practice? Did you get a lot of prep, and how did you feel coming into the game? And did you get a new pair of sneakers?
Yeah, I did switch the sneakers. The old ones weren't working out for me, but after the Kansas loss, I put a lot of that on myself. Watching the film, so I definitely came in with a lot of motivation and anger to just help the team in any way that I could. I thought we just raised our intensity level from that Kansas game, with a lot of the little things and rebounding. So I'm just really proud of the team, and everybody showed up today, whoever contributed minutes, so really proud of our guys.
The old sneakers, were they hurting your feet? Were they affecting you in that? Or?
It's not to blame, but I don't, they weren't working for my toes. So.
Alex, how did it feel to get a few threes in after being a little cold on that front right here?
Yeah, I think it felt good, obviously, but I still got to shoot it better here and there. But honestly, my approach was different towards this game. It wasn't towards the shot. I was just trying to make winning plays and really just try to affect the game rather than just shooting. So I think going in with that approach really helped me and gain my confidence back, and really just started to open up new things in the game.
Alex, when you guys, North Carolina pulled within 3 in the second half, and you guys were able to just pull away from there, what was the difference in that situation?
Yeah, I think just staying together. North Carolina, they're a really good team. I mean, they're going to have great success this year. So we knew they were going to make a run, and we had to go against runs in Kansas, and all the other Texas, Indiana, all of them. So we just had to stay together, stay strong, and really respond after that. We knew we were good enough to respond to that run that they had, and really just have trust in one another.
Alex, just what changed sort of in the second half with you guys offensively? What did you see differently? It seemed like you guys really came out with a fire underneath it.
Yeah, just being more efficient with our cuts. I think that definitely opened things up. Coaches, they did a great job in game planning. They switched everything, and we had a good test in that Kansas. So just trying to learn what we didn't do well against them and try to incorporate it offensively against them. So definitely just being sharper on the offensive end with the cuts and making great decisions.
Cam, you're a pretty intense guy. Have you picked up technicals before in your career? Or?
I don't think I've had one in my career, in college at least. So, that was my bad for the second half technical. But sometimes you get lost in the game and the adrenaline kicks in. So, I won't try to do it again.
He gets a shitload of them in practice. His curses left and right.
And more for the players?
Just Alex, what does it say about you guys as a team to respond after a loss and win by 11 against a highly ranked team?
It's big time from us to respond against a top 10 team. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more, and it's going to create great momentum for us continuing. We're not done with just being North Carolina. We want to continue because we have such a tough schedule heading forward. So, just really having the confidence in which we did beat a top 10 team and just carry that on towards our next games in Big East play.
All right, last question right back there.
Kelly Johnson, Sports Illustrated Kids. How does it feel to be a part of a tournament with such a meaningful cause?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think we all, grew up watching these tournaments, and, seeing Jimmy V and his speech and how powerful it was, and how many people it inspired. I think we've had people on the team lose some family members and friends to cancer. So it's just awesome that we can raise money for such a great cause and hopefully help a lot of people.
Yeah, what Cam said, just really using basketball as like opportunity to spread message, and I always think it's bigger than basketball. So really using our program and North Carolina's program to be on the biggest stage to help bring awareness towards cancer, and the Jimmy B Foundation. So I mean, there was no better environment too. So it was amazing.
questions for Coach, please?
Coach, obviously in the second half, you guys came out with passing tempo, spacing was definitely a thing to go to. Was that what you go to in the second half while spacing?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had a pretty good first half. I mean, you know, we scored 44 in the first half. You know, like playing against switching 1 through 4 defense on and off ball is, you know, just I think you know, playing against it at Kansas and then playing against it here, just you know, obviously we learned a lot from how to handle how to handle that type of defense. And I think we just had a really good balance of, you know, of running our stuff and executing. But then I thought our guys also like attacked and made plays off script. So and to go 25 assists on with the 8 turnovers on 34 made baskets, and I thought we probably again went 10 for 31 from 3. And I felt like we probably could have made 3 or 4 more.
What's this team's ceiling?
Well, I don't think we're as good as we were last year at this time, obviously, but I think we have a chance to get maybe as close to as good as last year's team by the end. You know, we didn't come into this healthy. Donovan's been hobbled since the season started, so he's a shell of himself right now. And for Steph, that was like almost like opening night. You know, you play a couple bye games, and then you go on the shelf for 3 weeks, and now you're basically your opening night freshman game is at MSG versus Carolina. So you know, when we get Steph up to speed and get Donovan healthy and feeling good, you know, this is obviously it's a formidable team as like last year's.
Armando Bacot, 2 points in the second half. Was there anything particularly you adjusted to make that happen?
No, we just made it tougher on him. Maybe his catch is a little bit more off the block. You know, I think maybe he got a little bit worn down, a little bit tired, you know, as well, which helped. But I think Donovan's length bothered him. Sam's quickness maybe bothered him a little bit. And then, you know, there were certain guys on their team that, you know, that we were digging more off of and wanted to trap and help more.
Dan, I know you've had confidence in solo shooting, you know, all year.
Told you.
But now they're falling. He's a career high. Can you just speak to what his game's like today?
Just special makeup, that kid, and you know, just huge shots. And when we recruited him, we knew he was a special guy, and we see him every day. And I mean, that shooting, the way he shoots the ball, it's a beautiful looking shot, and he's lefty, so it looks even better. But I liked what he did in the first half, getting in the paint, straight line drives, got a couple twos, got himself going. He's making like very few mistakes defensively. Like, I mean, he was obviously by far the best freshman on the court, and did not look like a freshman.
Yeah, with Steph, overall, are you encouraged by what you saw? You know, understand we started off slow, but made some big,
I mean, listen,
plays in the second.
he had no shot to play good today. I mean, I told Kamani before the game, like, this shit could go bad for him. You get dumped in a game like this, he had 2 days of live reps. You know, he had 1 day of like on-air defense, on-air offense, and then 2 days where he might have gotten about 35 minutes of running clock live work. You know, when we get this guy the reps, a couple more games under his belt, with the shooting that he's going to have around him and the center play, he's going to be awesome this year.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned Klingon was a little hobbled, but how did you feel about his performance?
I loved how he finished it, because things were going sideways for him there, and he was wearing it, and but then I thought he had a stretch there where he really impacted things defensively. You know, made a big one-on-one. You know, was able to finish the game playing like a big factor. It's just, you know, it's tough. You play at Kansas on Friday. You know, everyone's down because we lost, and we're not used to that happening. And then he basically got put on the shelf for 3 days, and then we threw him out there versus Baycott in a game like that. It just, you get a lot of reps going in, so he just wasn't very sharp. We got to get him healthy right now.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the turnaround, just only a couple of days after Kansas to respond in this way, and what does that say about your team?
I just, you know, where the program's mind's at, you know, just where we all are in terms of our confidence, in terms of the culture, in terms of the championship mentality. You know, this is, you know, listen, we had one guy play well at Kansas offensively, and we still had a chance to win a game on the road versus one of the better teams in the country. We had a 3 to win it. So, you know, obviously we were disappointed in the loss, but we know our level. You know, we know our level, and we know that we're not near our level yet, because we're not firing on all cylinders yet.
Last question for Coach. We good?
Anybody else? All right.